I think all of us put way too much pressure on ourselves. And something that I see us doing all the time is those of us with diseases that you cannot see on the outside, we tend to call ourselves lazy or feel that we're lazy. And I know that others can also think that we're lazy as well. And it's an easy dialogue to get stuck in. So I know for me, before I was diagnosed, for years, I felt I was lazy, or that if I just continued to push myself, I would build up some kind of stamina. I always felt like, I always wondered, am I lazy, or is my body just not able to handle it? And I went back and forth all the time because I saw other people living their lives, doing a lot more things and not being as sick as I was. So a lot of times I was extremely tired to the point where cooking dinner uh, would seem like way too much because whatever I did during the day. So I found myself trying to keep up during the day with regular people that are probably well and healthy. And then when it came to nighttime, I would become extremely sick. I would feel like I had the flu. I was causing myself to have flares. And at the time, I didn't even know that's what I was doing. I just thought that until a doctor could diagnose me, I was lazy. Uh, Even when you go to see the doctors, they'll say things like, well, you're a mom, so you're going to be tired, or the tiredness is normal, but you need to work out, or the tiredness is fine, but you need to eat better. And there comes a point in time when we really need to realize that, do we need to eat better all the time? Yes, but there's a certain point that eating better isn't, you're not really, you can eat better all you want, but I'm still not going to operate as a typical healthy person operates. I can do a lot of things to help myself. And in fact, that's what this channel is about. This channel is about me helping myself as much as I can to live as fulfilling as a life I can. But there comes a point where I still have to realize I'm not lazy. I am sick, and it's okay that I can't do what everyone else can do. And it's okay to realize I just can't keep up. It's simple as that. I can't keep up. And it doesn't mean I'm lazy at all. It just means I have something going on in my body that a lot of other people aren't having to deal with. And I called myself lazy for years. I was very hard on myself. In fact, I continued to push myself so much. I was having a flare every single night because I wouldn't cut myself any type of slack. I noticed that a lot of people with lupus or diseases that you can't see from the outside do that a lot. They will call themselves lazy. They will say, hey, what can I cook for dinner because I'm really lazy and don't like to cook and blah, on goes the dialogue of how lazy they are. And it's not that they're lazy, it's that we feel so sick, so tired, and so many other things that we can't operate on levels that everyone else is operating on. And we just start checking off the boxes that we're lazy. And that's not it at all. And I want us to stop calling ourselves lazy. I no longer consider myself lazy, nor do I let anyone else consider me lazy. Uh, if it's ever pointed out or said, I am very upfront with I have lupus. I can't do the things that I would like to do. I can't do the things that regular people can do, and I just put it out there. Now, they can either choose to believe me or not believe me. I know that people with diseases that you can't really see on the outside is hard to believe, or people draw a lot of assumptions, or people judge. And so it's up to us to let them know what we're dealing with. And then it's up to us to really not care what they're thinking or how they're judging us. We just have to let it go. There will be people in our lives that judge us, or even strangers in our lives that are, look at us and wonder why I'm not walking or why I'm not doing certain things when I can't. And I have to learn to let it go. It's not easy. It's really hard. I think it's in our nature to care what others think about us, but we have a disease that you can't really see from the outside. And so we're going to get judged. It's just a part of it. And I just have to learn to not really care. What I can learn and teach myself is to not think of myself as lazy, because I'm really not lazy at all. I probably put in a ton of more time, energy into things, more things than healthy people put into. I mean, I'm managing my day so that I'm able to make it an entire day. I'm putting a whole lot more planning and thought into just someone who, goes throughout the day and does what they need to do. And so we have a whole lot more going on, and I'm not helping myself by considering myself to be lazy. And I know that it's easy for us to say we're just lazy when we're not getting a diagnosis. But the truth is, it takes us, I don't know, 7 to 9 years on average to get a diagnosis of lupus. So I was sick for many, many years before anyone even knew what I had, before anyone even tested to see what I had. And so I was really hard on myself for years before I was actually diagnosed, thinking and calling myself lazy and trying to build stamina that I was never going to be able to build. And I think that we just need to be easier on ourselves. Stop calling ourselves lazy, because we're not lazy at all. I mean, in fact, it's quite the opposite. So if we could learn to not think of ourselves as lazy and to also put it out there, if someone wants to know what's going on, I'm very open about having lupus at this point. I think in the beginning I wasn't as open, but now I'm like, I can't do that because of this. And I just helping inform everybody. And there's a large gap where everyone needs to learn, to know, to open up. And then the other part of it is just not caring anymore what others think of us. If they're going to judge us, if they think we're lazy, it doesn't even matter. We need to do what's right for us. And really, this video is just about not considering ourselves lazy. We're not lazy at all. We have an underlying condition. It changes the way we do our day. It changes every thought process we have. It changes everything that we are, but it has nothing, I mean, nothing to do with someone being lazy or someone not having the stamina. We're not lazy at all. And I think that the change has to start with us. I considered myself lazy for years. I was super hard on myself, and I'm just not doing it anymore. I can see others in lupus groups that will start off a conversation by saying, I'm just lazy. It's not that we're lazy at all. We're sick. So I think the biggest takeaway is to not consider ourselves lazy, but to also not really care what others think of us anymore. And a lot of times, the ones that judge us the most are the ones that don't even know us or love us. And so those people are strangers, and we need to let it go and not care so much about what they think. I think that once I started to turn around my own personal dialogue of considering myself lazy, turning that around into I'm not lazy, I'm doing the best that I can, I started putting off a different vibe about all of that. When I think higher of myself, others actually start to react to that and think a little bit differently about me as well. I think it has to do a lot with how we carry ourselves. And if I think I'm lazy, I'm treating myself as if I think I'm lazy, and others can see that. Once I fully accepted what I was diagnosed with, what that meant for my future, I was able to completely turn off the I'm lazy dialogue and to be a little more gentle on myself and realize that I am doing the best that I can. All of us are doing the best that we can on many different levels. And once I realized that, I had a lot happier, better days. And I was also able to educate others easier at that point because I believed it myself. When I thought I was lazy and believed that I was lazy, I didn't tell anyone that I thought I was sick, but that doctors just weren't diagnosing me. I actually felt that I was lazy and was ashamed for many, many years. So I think when we accept, even before we're diagnosed, we have to accept we're not lazy. Our bodies are just reacting completely different than the way other people's bodies react. And once we change that internal dialogue, we'll begin to see changes in others as well. So that was just my 2 cents for today. I just don't want us to call ourselves lazy anymore. And I want us to accept us for who we are and to realize that we're valuable in society regardless. And it has nothing to do with being lazy. So that's my 2 cents or my thoughts for today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.